Hey, I'm Coach Colin Castell with ShotMechanics Basketball, and today I'm going to teach you the 4 best basketball moves that you need to have in your game. This video is brought to you by Arbit, the one-of-a-kind social polling app that allows you to connect directly with me and let me know what videos you want to see next. Just download the app at the link in the description and follow me at ShotMechanics for a free exclusive shooting workout in my Arbit bio. And don't forget to vote on my polls so you can let me know exactly what videos you want to see next. I'll see you there. All right, now there are a bazillion basketball moves out there that you can use, but really if you watch the best players, most of the time they kind of boil it down and they only use kind of about 4 main ones, right? So the idea is we want to build that kind of these 4 main ones first, and then once you get more advanced, then you can start adding more moves to your repertoire. Now, the deal is, right, you don't necessarily need all 4 moves all the time, right? A lot of players think that you need to have 37 moves to be able to beat somebody, but really if you have 2 or 3 go-to moves, that's really all you need if you know when to do them in the correct situations. So today what we're gonna do is we're gonna help you figure out what those are. We're gonna help you implement them into your game with some drills and all that sort of good stuff. Now, before we jump into it, don't forget you get a free copy of my 7-day shooting challenge. Just click the link in the description down below, type in your email, you get instant access to it right away. And it's this challenge that's gonna change the way you think about your shooting and probably increase your shooting percentage in the very first couple of days. That's how powerful it is, so you're gonna wanna check it out. So, the very first move we have is a crossover. So as you're getting ready to attack from the perimeter on the outside, there's a few different kinds of crossovers, right? You know, we got a hang crossover, we got a push crossover, but the idea of a crossover is we're just starting from one hand and then switching to the opposite hand, right? Now the whole key here is the defender manipulation, how you're getting your defender to move or slide out of the way before you start to cross it over. So the whole key here that I love is to stab your foot and point your eyes, right? Your eyes are incredibly important and valuable when it comes to moving defenders. And so anytime you're doing a crossover, it doesn't matter what kind it is, if I can stab my foot and plant my eyes one direction, it looks like I'm driving, this guy's probably gonna slide to cut me off. So the whole key here, whatever we're doing, if I'm going to right to left, Allen Iverson crossover, I wanna try to get out here, hang it, my eyes go that way, and then I'm crossing over opposite. Right? It doesn't matter. Even if I'm doing a push crossover where I'm keeping it high, I'm attacking downhill, eyes are one direction, shoulders are one direction, boom, push cross the opposite. So the whole key, no matter what crossover you're learning, is number 1, sell it with the eyes. Number 2, you really want to kind of push it in that opposite direction, right? Stab that foot, get them sliding out of the way, because if you can create that lane, you're going to get a wide open look. All right, the next move that I love that a lot of elite players use is the in and out. Now there's kind of 2 variations of it. It's basically just the idea that you're using the ball to roll across your body to get your defender to slide out of the way to open up that lane to go through. So kind of the 2 main variations are, number 1, you can come up and you can roll your hand over the top, and as long as your hand stays on the side and the top, you're okay, no carry, right? If I come up to it and I catch with my hand underneath like this and then roll it, then I'm gonna get called for a carry, right? That's variation number 1. Variation number 2 is the same concept, but instead of rolling with one dribble, you're gonna bounce in, bounce out. Bounce in, bounce out. A lot of times I recommend this for beginners because it's a little bit easier to get your defender moving that direction, but it's a little bit slower, right? As I come up, if I pop, if I got a really quick or elite defender, sometimes that's not enough to shake them, right? So either option is totally doable, totally acceptable. It's up to you what you like best. But the thing that you want to think about is breaking the center line of your body. If I'm facing the camera right here, pretend like I've got a line straight up the center of my body. So whenever I'm hitting this move or this in and out, I want to try to break that center line. So if I got a line here, I'm trying to break it and then push out the other way. Because if I give just a little in and out, it's not bad, but it might not shift them like I want it to. So if we can really think about pop, pop, breaking that center line of the body, or pop, you're getting that broken and it's going to slide them out of the way, opening up a wide open lane. All right, so the third move in kind of the 4 main ones that you need to have is a behind the back move. Now, the big difference here is there's kind of 2 variations, just like the in and out. And so a lot of players only practice one, and then in a game they get the opportunity to do the second one, and they aren't able to pull it out. So the first variation is an attack downhill behind the back. And that's basically the idea that as I'm coming forward, my behind the back's going to carry my momentum forward going downhill, right? This move's great if you're trying to attack in transition, or on the offense you're catching, maybe curling around, attacking the basket. That's the time to use that downhill behind the back. The other option is a lateral behind the back, meaning you're moving sideways. So it's the same thing, but if instead of moving downhill like the one before, a lateral behind the back, you're going to move sideways away from the defender, get that lateral separation. So I'm coming up this way, I'm gonna, boom, lateral this direction. So the idea is you want to be able to read which behind the back to use in what situation, and a lot of it depends on what your defender is going to do. So if I'm getting ready and I'm going to hit it behind the back and the defender jumps and closes my space, that's probably a time for a downhill behind the back. If I'm getting ready to do a behind the back and my defender starts backing up, that's the time to do the lateral behind the back, right? The idea is to do the opposite of what the defender has. All right, so the last main move you wanna have is a spin move. Now, a spin move you aren't gonna use in every situation, but it's great to have if you're finishing around the basket or in transition or if somebody's trying to trap you, right? And if you can add it to your game, you're gonna have just that little extra dimension than if you didn't. And so with the spin move, the whole key is that as you come through, you wanna pound that last dribble and then push it out and go get it. Now, just like, you know, the in and out or just like the behind the back, there's multiple options that you can do. But the idea is, even if I'm spinning out away from the hoop, I wanna spin the ball and push it out and go get it, right? I wanna push it out and go get it. Now, I can either drop it and switch hands. So I can either come through, boom, drop it and switch hands as I come through, or I can drop it and go get it with the same hand if I want to do that too. It's really up to you, and it really kind of depends on how the defense reacts. Keep the spin move. Number one, you want to keep the ball tight to your body, if at all possible. That's going to make it a quick spin. And number two, you want to whip your head around. So instead of just having my head spin with my body, as I come through, if I'm getting ready to hit the spin move, I want my head to snap around. That way I'm not going to get as dizzy if I'm spinning it up, right? Again, if you're finishing at the basket and you're using a spin move, you're going to do the same thing, but your last dribble is going to be a pound dribble tight to the body, and then we're not going to put it down for a second dribble, right? If you can do that, add the spin move to your game, you're going to be pretty tough to stop in the paint or in transition. All right, if this video helped you out, go ahead and hit that like button and then in the comment section down below and let me know what sort of video you want to see next. I make pretty much everything off a request, so leave it down below and hopefully I'll get to it. And if you're new to Shot Mechanics, you're going to want to do two things. Number one, hit that subscription button, because we put out videos every weekend. They're all going to get you better, I guarantee it. The second thing you're gonna wanna do is click that button down there or the link in the description, get a free copy of my 7-day shooting challenge. This shooting challenge is gonna change the way you think about training your jumper, and it will probably increase your shooting percentage in the very first day. That's how powerful it is. So you're definitely gonna wanna check that out. Again, I'm Coach Colin Castell with Shot Mechanics Basketball. Thanks for watching, and until next time, splash on.